Season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25.
Forward.
Jackson looking to throw right away. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. First down, here's Mitchell. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The Ravens at 5-7 now on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked it.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've caulked it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect. Hey!
On first down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out in a tackle and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
Yeah, look at this Baltimore defense. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at the 27-yard line.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A 3rd down gain of 19.
That's a sharp throw right there on third down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a first and goal.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Stafford's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4. They'll go again here with Akers. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
Running left, here's Mitchell. And down to the 41. You talk about this Rams defense. Now, they've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
And the focus now is making sure that they're hitting on all cylinders as they head into the playoffs. And that means they've got to stop the run better. Because playoff football often means running football. So they've got to be prepared for that.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Now it's Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mike Andrews, the tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll send Beckham in motion right. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. It's caught. Beckham. And he will be out of bounds here. And it'll turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends.
They'll
take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy on the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw and a good one. Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
A give up the middle to Akers. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Second down, they'll go with Akers again. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. They'll try and run for this with Akers. Bust through the tackle, and he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Jefferson moving in motion left. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. On the counter, this is Akers. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Adolfo Owe in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And his kick is indeed good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They'll throw down the field, caught by his running back. And they get him down the mountain before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10.
13.
Jackson, option right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Let's go. Get hot.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at about the 14. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Rams are going offense here with a 1st and 10. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give to Akers on the draw. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get him next time out.
Yeah, that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And he's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this third quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first 2 quarters, they had 2 costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it would be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Here's Stafford. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Stafford. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. A give running right is Akers. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing again is Stafford. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 41. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Play action. It's Jackson. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot. Jackson now. And the throw there going to be incomplete. sure went against conventional wisdom, calling a pass on 3rd and inches.
Had to be thinking to themselves, the defense is going to overcommit against the run. Should be an easy pitch and catch. Didn't turn out that way.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Big 20.
To throw on second down is Stafford. He's got Cooper Kupp on the slant. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Stafford to his #1 guy, Kupp, for a Los Angeles first. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And space tough to come by there. It's going to get maybe a yard to the 37.
Offense also praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Did you see how the linebackers froze for just a second? That's why you run play action. You want to keep them rooted in the spot and create a little bit of extra space so your tight end can find some room behind them. And then the quarterback finds his target downfield, and he turns it into 6 points.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. They run over center with Mitchell, and they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but in that 32, they had a 10-yard return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Bennett working from the gun. That's down the field for Jefferson. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. They'll run a draw now with Akers.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. That leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
The Rams on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8.
From the shotgun, here's Bennett.
Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's Hill on the return.
A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it is starting to appear, thankfully for them, that this is the week they're going to put it all together and end that long losing streak. They're not home yet, but in control in the fourth quarter.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That third down conversion good for 23. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. To throw again is Jackson. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Report. No, we changed it.
Now Jackson. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4.
A 51-yard attempt.
Tucker's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. To be frank, you really have to feel for them. This is appearing to not be their week yet again. So another loss in the cards as they trail big in quarter number 4. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Rodgers brings it in. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd and 2, Bennett. And he is caught. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith.
And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct, and what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now, but later when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Here's a toss right side to Mitchell.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38.
48 yards on the ground for him so far.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. And they will take a knee here. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment. Whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better.
I ain't tripping, this is easy, got them excited to meet me, I got diamonds, you got CZs, wake up, get to it and repeat, hey, I ain't hearing nothing hate to say, let them talk about it, my whole crew is about 100 geek, gotta walk around it, I kill it and then I walk away, with the chalk around it, I just get low key and watch them talk about it, I'm in New York and we finna get loose, squeeze the big apple and give me the juice, don't wanna talk, I just do what it do,